Europeans smoke less than the American average per capita, and you can do hard time for marijuana here in the United States, and in Europe a joint's about as exciting as a can of beer.
Next month, North Dakotans will have the chance to vote on Measure 3, the initiative to legalize recreational marijuana and expunge nonviolent pot convictions.
Valley News Team's Rose Itzkovitz has the pros and the cons of the measure and checks the facts while debunking the myths.
Today, we have a racist, expensive, non-productive prohibition based on lies, frankly.
As November draws nearer, the debate to legalize marijuana heats up.
I just think the way the law is written leaves a lot of loopholes. I don't know if they're necessarily loopholes, but leaves a lot of room for increased criminal activity.
Cavalier County Sheriff Greg Fetch has been speaking out against Measure 3, which would legalize recreational marijuana in North Dakota and seal the records of those with nonviolent use.
It's my duty as a sheriff to inform my residents of my county on matters that matter to me for their safety.
But some say Fetch's source of information, Vote No on 3nd.com, isn't all accurate. One example, the website says the measure will allow marijuana to be smoked anywhere. But Century Code 23-1210 already has a long list of smoking restrictions, including public places and places of employment.
The numbers are in. It's clear when you legalize marijuana and tax and regulate it smartly, use stays about the same with mature adults.
Rick Steves is a travel writer from Seattle and also a board member of NORML, which supports legalizing pot. He says he's seen the opposite effect of what sites like Vote No say.
In Washington State, it's just old news. Nobody talks about it. In fact, for teens, marijuana is now something that grandma rubs on her elbow. It's kind of gross stuff.
Then there's the question of limiting pot use.
The way that law is written now, the way I understand it, and I'm not saying that's exactly right, but you can grow as much as you want and you can have as much as you want.
Fetch is right. There's nothing in the measure establishing any limits to your pot use or growth as long as you're of age. But Cole Heyman, an advisor for the measure, says that's where legislation comes in.
While it stands to show that it's unlimited possession, cultivation, we've certainly left it wide open for the legislature to do their job.
But those against the measure aren't so sure that will happen. State Representative Pam Anderson tells me the debate is confusing, even for the legislators themselves, as both sides put out so much contradicting information.
What I've been telling people that ask me, I think you just need to say to yourself, as a North Dakotan, do you believe we should be able to smoke and use recreational marijuana? That's the question.
In other words, Anderson says, if the measure goes into effect, you should rely on legislators to regulate it properly. Rose Itzkovitz, Valley News Live.
And for links to the measure, as well as more information on both sides, head to our website and click on this story.